Welcome back to Girl Meets Podcast.
Welcome back. We're together.
We're together again.
Yay.
We couldn't be happier.
I did.
Yeah, so I'm in Michigan. I came from Illinois to Michigan 2 nights ago.
Yay.
Drove here
To visit me.
I'm on a break from school right now, and Emma's not. So I just came to visit her at school, and we've just been hanging and spending time going around Grand Rapids, and today we're going to Grand Haven.
Yep. So exciting. Today's gonna kind of be like a go with the flow podcast episode. We have a topic, but also just kind of want to do some life updates, right?
Yeah.
Yes. About us.
Yes.
What even are my life updates? Well, the sun is out, thank God. It's like last time we recorded, I don't think that was when it was snowing, but like a few weeks ago, we got like 3 feet of snow here in Michigan, and I was trapped inside for, I'm not even kidding, like 5 days. It felt like COVID all over again, and that was not fun. I did not like it. It literally brought me back to how I felt when COVID first happened, of like the lockdown and stuff. Such a crazy time. I can't believe we went through that.
I know. I think about it all the time.
Yeah. Like, imagine if that happened again.
I remember. I thought it was so funny, though. Like, looking back, and I called it like the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Corona, and now I like cringe at that. I don't know why, because people just call it COVID now, and like that's obviously another name that people called it at that time, but I always called it the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's funny.
That's just like cringe. Anyways.
Yeah.
Something I've been doing a lot has been like looking back on 2023.
Aww.
Because obviously it's 2024 now. And I just think it's crazy. In 2023, I had 3 breakups.
Whoa.
I had 3 breakups, which I feel like is kind of a lot. Maybe not. But like, it wasn't just, me going on dates and then like things just didn't work out. It was like I was in a serious relationship at the beginning of 2023, and I broke up with him literally right around this time last year. And then I didn't like have a boyfriend for a while, like months. And then I got another one. And then things ended after like a month and a half. And then I again didn't have one for a long time, like months. And then another one that just ended kind of recently, but no, it was like right before Christmas break. He was like, bye. And I was like, okay, see ya, whatever. But all 3 of those breakups hurt so bad. And I don't know why. Does anyone else get that? Like, I feel like I get attached to guys so quickly. And then even after just a month and a half of being with them, it's like it crushes me if we break up.
Yeah.
No matter how long it is that we're together.
Yeah. I think that just means you're a big lover.
Yeah.
And like, that's just how you are.
Yeah.
I think you give a lot too.
I do.
Like very soon into the relationship. And then I think that is why you get attached so easily.
That's facts.
Reasonably so. Like when you have good feelings about it. And the way that our relationships work nowadays, being in college, things just go so much faster.
Right. Like dating someone for a month in college, like you get as far as, where you should be if you're dating them for 6 months in high school or something like that. Literally. Like that's what it feels like, at least, because you are moving so fast, because you have the ability to see them more.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to ask your parents or whatever. Like you can just do whatever. You can go out with them whenever, or, stay in, and like they can hang out with you in your room for however long or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. But
no, I feel you.
That's something I thought about like right at the end of 2023. I was like, wow, I've been through 3 breakups this year, and I feel like that's just a lot in a year. My braid is falling out.
Yeah. I went through 1 breakup in 2023, and it felt like a million breakups.
Oh.
It was terrible. But I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm getting there. We're happier, I guess, in general. Everything's fine. So yeah, breakups are so difficult, especially when you get older and you start having real connections. And like what you were saying, when you date in college, it's so different because your parents aren't around. And it's like, you like, especially long-term relationships, like you build your life around them and like you cook with them and they sleep over and all of those things are such factors. It almost is like you're living with them,
Yeah.
except that you don't have a lease together and you're
Yeah.
just like bouncing from your guys' apartments. And it's just like to immediately have that gone in a second and like be so blindsided from it is just such a shock to your system and something that's so hard to go through. And that was something I was reflecting on when 2023 ended. And now that I'm in 2024, it's really strange. But I like that I have a new year without that person and like that experience that I had to go through to get to where I am now and stuff. But it's a hard time. It's weird. Like I'm still struggling with it. I guess that's a life update. And it's just weird feelings. Like it gets easier to cope with, but like the pain still lingers and like
Yes.
everything, like things still remind you of them and people still remind you of them. And like you still cry about them randomly. And like it's such a weird thing to go through. And I've never gone through a breakup this hard before. And that's also a weird thing too.
Yeah.
Like a breakup has never hit me this hard. And I've been in several long-term relationships before. And I've always been able to move on and have such an optimistic view on it. And this one just, it's staying. It's here. It's like, I'm not leaving yet. And I just have to find some sort of purpose within that and just keep going.
Yes. Everything is a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I, I felt dumb for the way I felt after these two pretty short relationships that I had. Um, but again, like things were moving so quickly, but also it put me in this stupid mindset of like, okay, am I not good enough to keep for longer than a month or whatever? So now I'm in this constant fear that any guy that I talk to or start developing feelings for or something, I get so scared that they're just gonna get bored and leave me once like that month. Once we get to that month checkpoint or whatever, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just now this fear of mine, which I need to get over because not everybody is the same, but I've like because of what I just have experienced the past two relationships, I'm just so terrified that the next one I get into, it's going to happen again. So I just need to remind myself, and like if anyone feels the same way, you need to remind yourself that everyone that you end up being with at some point, they're all different people, and things that have happened to you in the past, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen again and over and over again. Like, and if you have gotten hurt, if you're the one who has been hurt, it's never your fault. Like things just don't work out. So you can't like blame yourself and say, okay, well, I'm the common denominator and you know, this is just going to happen to me again because it always happens to me. That's just, it's a dangerous place to be because I'm honestly like, I feel like I'm there right now and I need to get out of it. I just really need to get out of it and like let things happen the way that they happen and be okay with the way that things happen and believe that everything happens for a reason.
For sure. Yeah, it's hard to like think that way, especially when you don't see the reason why it happened quickly. And like even though like you see benefit out of the situation, sometimes your head is still like, no, like it still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, sure, I have gained things from this experience and like maybe I'm a better person, but I still don't get it. Like, if I could have been with that person forever, I would have been happy. And everything would have been fine. And it's like, I still don't understand why the universe or whoever like led me down the path of this. And who knows, I might never know. And I might have to wait like 10 years, 30 years, however many years. Hopefully it's not that long.
But it won't be that long. I doubt it.
Hopefully not.
But at the same time, like, we are 20. Like, we need to just remind ourselves that we're so young and that
So true.
we might not meet our person for years to come. Like,
so true.
We just have to let it happen naturally. I've stopped chasing men. I have let men chase me recently.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. Oh my god, yeah, we've been watching Love on the Spectrum.
So good.
It's a really cute show.
It is. We just watched the first season. I love seeing how their connections develop and work and how like it's different from us and for them and it's just so exciting and it's just interesting to see how those relationships develop.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like in my future and even Emma's future, I feel like we will be most likely working with some individuals who are on the spectrum just based on the career that we're both going into.
Yeah, I probably want to specialize in like people with disabilities.
Yeah. So
that's how it is.
That'll be it's a very interesting show. Highly recommend. It's so cute and it's so different from other like reality TV love or what's it called? Relationship shows.
Yeah, like dating shows and stuff. Yeah. You just feel so genuinely happy for them. And like that's something that people who are on the spectrum struggle with so much. And it's just so exciting to see themselves or to see them put themselves out there and to see it work out and to also see them learn how to navigate that and, you know, learn what makes them nervous about it and learn what they do really good at. It's super interesting and it just shows you how different every single person is. It's just such an interesting show and like your heart just melts watching them fall in love. Yeah. It's so cute.
It's super cute. It's super cute. And then we also watched Prisoners last night.
Oh my god.
Which we both have never seen before.
And it's literally not even going to be on Netflix when this comes out, so I'm so sorry.
It's not, but I feel like it's popular enough that people have probably seen it or try to find it somewhere else.
Yeah, wait, I'm gonna look.
Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. So good. Seriously, such a good movie. I could not stop. Like, I was so zoned into it the whole time.
So good.
I won't like say anything spoil like, but it's basically about this this guy's daughter and then her friend. They are like they go missing. Basically, they go missing, and so the dad of one of the girls, Hugh Jackman, kind of goes crazy trying to figure out what happened. And you know, sometimes it's really hard for parents whose child goes missing to listen to the police and just let the police do their job. Like he was not okay with like just letting the police do their job, which I was like, okay, I feel like I would do the same exact thing if my child went missing. Like I would go ballistic and like I wouldn't be patient enough with the police. But it was interesting to see it from like an outside perspective. It was like, oh my god, like dude, just like let them do their job. But like at the same time, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, as a parent, for sure.
As a parent, yeah. Anyway, highly recommend. It was really good.
Yes, highly recommend.
Lots of twists. It's like a thriller.
Yeah,
thriller movie.
There is like nothing good coming out. No good TV shows. I feel no good movies. I don't know if I'm just like not watching enough, but I've been rewatching like not old, but like stuff that came out a few years ago that was like poppin'. I feel like 2021 was like the best for all of those like platforms of like Netflix, Hulu.
Oh,
they had great stuff coming out, I feel.
Yeah, I know. I just have like such a huge issue with Netflix taking away literally their best stuff. Like,
yeah,
I understand that there's probably something going on where they, you know, have some sort of contract where it's like, okay, like you'll keep our show on there for 3 years and then take it off or whatever it is. I don't really know exactly what, but I swear all my favorite shows that have been on Netflix like are taken off like so quickly, and I'm like, I wanted to rewatch that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like New Girl was taken off of Netflix, moved to Hulu, which is fine. But New Girl is like one of those shows. It's my favorite show ever. It's one of those shows that I just want to like rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. But then Hulu has like the ads, and I just don't want to do it.
Ads on Hulu are so wrong.
Yeah.
What?
And then, okay, Gilmore Girls, still on Netflix. One of my absolute favorite shows ever. Same with Breaking Bad. But Breaking Bad, like to me, it's not one of those shows that you rewatch over and over, but maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah.
But recently, I've been watching Modern Family on Hulu from literally the start, from the beginning.
It's a good show.
It's just so funny. Like it's so cute because there are so many seasons and you like actually get to see these actors grow up and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just a show that like I would watch with my parents growing up, and now it's just kind of fun watching it by myself, like from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then I've been watching This Is Us as well.
Oh my god.
Which was just put on Netflix.
You're in your millennial era.
Okay, but This Is Us is so good too.
Really?
You would love it. You would love it. It's like one of my mom's favorite, one of my mom's favorite shows.
That show too.
Yeah. So my mom has watched it all the way through, and it was literally just put on Netflix. And I was like, I need to hop on this because my mom has told me so many times that like I would love it.
Yeah.
And it's just so cute. It follows a family's life, but like switches back and forth from the present to the past.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you see so it's basically a couple and their 3 kids, and you see these 3 kids when they're older.
Mm-hmm.
But then it switches back to when they're younger, and there's these different actors playing them at different ages and such. And so it's just really cool. I don't know.
Love.
I don't know.
To get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think there was literally one more show too that I've been trying to watch, because for some reason there's just so many shows that I'm like wanting to watch right now.
It's hard for me to watch shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm more of like a YouTube girl now. I'll watch YouTube videos a lot of the times.
Minecraft videos?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not Minecraft videos.
That's the shit that I will watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
would
so
expect
weird.
that.
I know. I expect that from me too.
Yeah.
I swear there's one more show that I've been like either watching or wanting to watch. Bridgerton.
Oh.
I finished the first season of Bridgerton.
Nice.
Started the second, haven't gotten very far, kind of stopped. And then Queen Charlotte as well, which is a Bridgerton story. Yeah. My friend from school recommended that to me. So yeah, I'm literally in the middle of 3 shows.
Wow. I'm in the middle of like no shows. I'm watching Inventing Anna again.
Oh, I've never seen that.
It's really good. It's really good. It's documentary. It's not a documentary. They do like a fictional story of a true story about this girl named Anna Delvey who was like a huge swindler in the money, and like she learned how to finesse so many people, and like go to these expensive hotels, pay for them, and she had. Like,
I should start doing this.
Everyone convinced that she was like this huge German rich girl who had daddy's money and like that kind of thing, and she didn't have any money, and she did some terrible things to some people, and she's a real person. She went to jail. I think she's out of jail
based on
now.
A real story.
Yeah, it's based on a real story.
Wow.
But they like have fictional characters in it who is basically like playing the story. It's really good. That
sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll have to watch that too.
You should. And like the main girl is like a magazine journalist. I think she works for Time. And she is basically interviewing Anna the entire time and like getting her story, her side of the story, because while she's doing that, Anna's like going through court and stuff, trying to not go to jail.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. Literally, Anna Delvey has an Instagram and she posts on Instagram.
Wow. She's out of jail now?
I think she is, yeah. I don't think she's posted in.
How long was she in jail for? Like, when did this happen?
This happened maybe like 2018.
And she's already out of jail.
I think so. I don't think she went to jail for a long time.
That's kind of crazy. I feel like, okay, I guess that sentence was like, how many years? 5 years?
Well, she got out of jail a little bit ago, like a few years ago. Maybe it was like 2016. I don't know.
So that's just like a few years in jail.
Yeah, let me look it up.
I guess maybe I need to like look into this because I literally love the criminal justice system. I don't love it. Sorry. I love learning about it. It's not the best. I like learning about it though.
Yeah, she spent
only 4 years.
and she was released in 2021 of February. So 2017?
It's very interesting. That was a long intro.
It was fine.
Sorry guys. But no, we got into a lot of stuff. But what we really want to talk to you guys about today is long distance friendships, long distance relationships, and how they work.
Yeah.
And how we make them work.
One thing I have to say, they're very different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, a long distance friendship is so much easier to me. It's still hard, but honestly, I found that it just makes like a friendship even stronger. And when I've done long distance with relationships, it makes things stronger too. But relationships, there's just so many different aspects into it that you really have to take into consideration, where a friendship, it doesn't need as much attention 24/7.
Right. I know. And there's a lot less anxiety that goes along with it too. Like,
yeah, like I'm not worried about what Audrey's doing all the time.
No, but it's normal to worry about like what your significant other is doing. Like,
totally.
Are they cheating on me right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Let's talk about long distance relationships first, so then we can end on a high note.
Okay.
Of long distance friendships. Not that it's a high note, but like long distance relationships, it's maybe going to bring some feelings up for me.
Yeah. Me as well. So we have both done long distance before.
Yeah.
For me, I've done it just one time, like one guy. Well, sort of. Like, basically, when I started my freshman year of college, I was in a relationship with somebody who is from my high school. So we were like 2 hours away from each other. We did not see each other very often, except for when like I'd have breaks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came and visited me a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't know if I'm ready to like publicly share this information.
Well, I think we can just talk about our like how we would get through things.
Yeah.
Like tips and tricks.
Yeah, that's true. I guess my situation was unique in the sense that he and I would not have worked out even if we weren't doing long distance. Like, it wasn't really the long distance that broke us up.
Yeah.
It was him and like his behavior and stuff.
Yeah.
But there were many times when the guy that I was with would get extremely jealous and like controlling and dare I say manipulative when it comes to, or when it came to me like going out and having fun and or just hanging out with friends or hanging out with guy friends.
You guys were in like completely different stages in life too.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people who are doing long distance, that's usually what it is, where, you know, one person is going out to school, or you guys are both going out to school, or maybe one person is moving for a job and the other person's staying back for school. Yeah. It's like, usually I feel like you're in two different places in life, and that's really hard to manage, especially when you, like, from his perspective, he had never gone to college before.
Right.
And like, that's different for people. Like, I don't know what I would have done if I had to stay home and have a boyfriend go to college. So that would be weird, because you just don't understand. When when you haven't been in the position to be in college, you don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
And like you understood his perspective, so it was easier for, not easier, but like it was easy for you to understand both perspectives. And that's why I feel like it's important to try and be in sit the same like journey, I guess, in life. Or be respectful of one another, which is where like his situation comes in, where he just obviously was not being respectful about it, and like completely, so that was some of his own issues.
Yeah, it was tough because it was a matter of like whether or not he trusted me, and he made it blatantly obvious that he didn't. Um, and he like would tell me that he did, but then he'd say, "But I also don't really know if I do." He's like, "I do, but I don't." And I'm like, "Okay." I had never once, I hadn't ever, oh my God, what's the word? I'd never done anything to him to make him not trust me. So I was really confused and frustrated because I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do like to make you not trust me? And he just didn't. Unfortunately, like he really didn't trust that when I went out to parties that I wouldn't cheat on him. Like he didn't trust that like he would constantly like accuse me for cheating. Like he would ask me if I was, be like, I feel like you are. I'd always tell him, no, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. And I never was, and I never did. And it was just really tough for me because I was, well, first of all, I was trying to adjust to a whole new environment and like getting used to college and stuff. And I was trying to make friends. I was trying to make connections, knowing that I'd be there the next 4 years. And his lack of trust was really making that difficult because I always had to consider how he would feel if I did certain things. And he just, it was just really hard. Like, I genuinely believe if it was like, if I was with somebody else, it would have been easier.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he just does not seem like the person to be able to do long distance.
Yeah.
I don't think that everyone is made to do long distance.
No,
and reasonably so.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm, able to do it either. I think I can though, because me, from my perspective, I put all my trust in him, and I knew that, I wasn't there with him. He could have done whatever.
Yeah.
But but I trusted him, and I never questioned him. I never, like, even if I was feeling a little bit anxious on the inside, here's just a little tip or trick or whatever, is you're going to feel anxious when your partner's not there with you. But it's a matter of whether or not you have the right to bring it up or not. Because anxiety is very different from like reality. And so even if you're anxious about, oh, like he might, cheat on me or whatever, doesn't mean he is. And if you don't have a reason to not trust this person, then that is something that you can keep to yourself. Because I feel like that's like an anxiety that's so normal, of course. But you don't want like your partner to think that, oh, they don't trust me. They're asking me whether or not I'm cheating on them, so they don't trust me. And then that just causes issues and makes your partner feel like unstable in the relationship. Okay, so if this person doesn't trust me, then how can I gain their trust back if I've never even lost their trust, really? Like, I haven't done anything wrong. So that's just one thing that like I had a hard time with, was the constant like accusations that I was doing things because he was having the anxiety that I was. But again, anxiety is so different from reality.
Yeah, for sure. It is. Yeah. I think like my experience with long distance was very, very different. Like my partner and my past partner and I were able to move through long distance and get through it. How long were we? Like April, May to June, July to August. We were long distance for like 4 months. And we were like almost 6 hours away. But like we were over the summer. I mean, I was taking summer classes and we both had full-time jobs, so we were both very busy.
Yeah.
But to us, it was just like a matter of like, we want to keep this relationship going, and we were both very committed in that aspect. And also very open to doing whatever it took to see each other at least once a month. So that's what we did. We saw each other once a month, and then I think in like July we saw each other twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very hard in the beginning because I mean, you go from seeing this person, I saw him every single day for like 4 months, and then I saw him not at all for a month. And then, you only see them for like a week or something. So that's hard, but like something that really helped was staying busy, having a full-time job, being in school, and also getting to come home and be with my friends that I hadn't seen in a long time that were from home. And on his end, he was able to see his hometown friends. And then like having the conversation of like, I need you to call me like every single day, pretty much. Like it was random phone calls, just like 5 minutes here and there, a FaceTime at night. Still celebrating like little achievements of like hitting a month anniversary and like doing something for that. Or little things like, here's $5 to go get Starbucks, have a great day, or something like that. And then a lot of the times we do like FaceTime dates of like watching movies. There's so many like platforms out there, like now like Netflix and like Hulu do like the sharing, share play or whatever. Um, and so we would do a lot of that. And also like when you have a foundation before you start long distance, it makes things different.
Yeah.
You know each other, you know what one likes, you know what one dislikes. You know what makes them happy, you know what triggers them. So going into long distance, you already have a great foundation, especially for doing so well. And just little things to make your partner happy really helps. And also keeping yourself busy kills the time. And we never like left each other and didn't know when we were going to see each other next. We always had it planned, which is something that not everyone has the ability to do. But if you can do it, or just like an estimate of what you can do, it helps. And then having things to do when you are together and like experiencing new things and still using that time to create a life together. Um, my stomach is growling. And then another thing that helped is I had friends who were also doing long distance. So like my close friend and his close friend were dating and they were also doing long distance. So we had each other to lean on, and understand very similar experiences and perspectives and locations and stuff. So that was also really nice. Honestly, long distance was great for me. Like I thought it was a great time, and like you really understand the appreciation of that person and all of the things that they do for you. And it helps understand the importance of actually being physically together. Um, and I think that's a really special thing. And I would never like deny that, even though we're broken up now. Like that was a great time, and like I'm really proud of myself for getting through that. And I'm glad that I had a super supportive partner along with it, because of like what Audrey experienced. I would never, and she would never wish that upon anyone. And
No.
like you want that positive experience and you want something good out of it. You work super hard at your relationship and you spend money on gas, you spend money on the experiences that you're experiencing when you're with that person. You go even bigger on gifts because you're not seeing each other all the time. You're not spending money on dinners all the time. So it's like you put so much effort into long distance if, that's how the relationship's working and you want something out of that. And I think that I had a really positive experience the last time I did it, but in the very beginning of college, I also went into college like freshman year doing long distance, and that like immediately ended very quickly because of the reasons of like that person just could not do it with me, and they weren't accommodating to me. They wouldn't call me. They wouldn't tell me where they were going, and like I am that person who needs that reassurance. And I am glad that I had a partner in the future who was willing to accommodate all of those things for me, was very open and honest about where I was going and where he was going. And it wasn't like I need to know where you're going. It was just we updated each other on literally every single second of our day. And it was like, if I'm going out with my friends, I tell you. It's not like I'm asking you or you're asking me. It was just part of our routine. Whereas my other relationship that I did long distance with, that wasn't like that. And it just really depends on your dynamic and your commitment to each other and how strong your bond is, and your willingness to fight for your relationship.
Yeah, I really believe that like if a relationship doesn't work long distance, like it wouldn't have worked anyway. I feel like it's not necessarily like if people break up, quote unquote, because of long distance, I feel like it's not because of long distance. It's because of the dynamic between the two people. And like it would have most likely ended a different time, even if you had been in close proximity throughout your entire relationship. It probably would have ended at a different time anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, if they wanted to, they would, if they wanted to commit to you and wanted to make it work between the two of you, they would have tried their best to do long distance. And, like, I don't know. For me, I mean, he and I called each other quite a bit, like, every night, basically. But then that spiraled into okay, well, hey, like, I want to go hang out with my friends late tonight. Can I do that? And then it was like, no, you have to call me. That was what his mentality was like. If I didn't call him one night, he would be so upset with me.
Yeah.
And that became really hard because, like, again, I was trying to adjust to college and I was trying to make friends. And if I was invited to do something later in the night, like, I wish that he would have been like, okay, that's fine, have fun, you know? Because if someone truly loves you, they're going to want, like, you to be happy and want you to do things that are best for you. And anybody would agree that the best thing for the individual is to go and hang out with their friends that night instead of calling their boyfriend who they call every single night. And I think that long distance, like, you need to allow your partner to live their own life still. And I mean, that's how I feel about relationships in general, is just you need to let your partner still live their own life. You just happen to be a part of it now. But their life shouldn't become your life and vice versa. And like, they should allow you to still do things you enjoyed doing before the relationship and vice versa. I just wanted to make him happy. Like, I wanted to please him, and I kind of put my own needs aside, which I shouldn't have done, but I put my own needs aside and my own desires aside in order to make sure that he was okay all the time. Which obviously not good, because you need to make sure that you're okay first and foremost. But again, long distance, like Emma said, can work for sure. It just really depends on you and your partner's bond, and then also how much you and your partner trust each other and how much you guys communicate about things. And I think if the communication is good and if your partner is a genuinely good person, it makes things it makes things smoother. And also just like reminding yourself that not everything's going to be perfect, not everything's going to go your way. And you just have to be okay with that, because that's just how life is in general, but especially being in a relationship, and especially long-term long distance relationships.
Yeah, they're definitely hard, and I feel like everything is super situational. And I was lucky enough to be me and my partner at the time, like, our lives were aligned so much and we were going through very similar things, whereas like you and your partner were not, and like you guys were in completely different places in life, and that is when it gets really, really tricky.
Yeah.
And like I felt grateful enough to like we both understood what life was for both of us at that time. And like we had the time to call so frequently. Um, and like we both weren't going out all of the time, and we just me and him prioritized it so much over the summer that it just worked.
Yeah.
Um, and it just really depends on who you are as a person, who you are as a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and what you want to give to that relationship, and who you are in that relationship and what your relationship is. Um, it's all very situational. And I feel like another thing that helped was frequently talking about how you're doing, like every week, and just like checking in, being like, hey, how is this going? How are you feeling? What can I do? Here's what you can do, in a very respectful way. Um, and just to improve things, or like, I didn't really like how you did this, but I love how you did this. Like, thank you for doing that this week. But I wish you would have done this thing differently. And things like that, to just like keep each other up to date and know what's going on in your relationship, know how both of you guys are feeling. Um, I think that's something that helped, just the open conversations and knowing that it's going to ebb and flow. Some days are going to be a lot harder than others. And sometimes you literally just have fights because you're not together. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the times I found myself being like, if I was with you, we wouldn't be having this fight. Like, this is just because I miss you. And those are hard, and it's hard to realize that. Usually, like, your anger and sadness from not being able to be with your person has a wall up in front of the reason why you're actually getting upset. Um, and I think just remembering that you're probably getting really angry at this person because you're not with them. Um, and because you can't be with them. I found that to be my experience a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And it's hard to realize all of those things. And just like following your gut. Like, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. And long distance is hard. And like kind of what Audrey said, like if you like stopped dating in long distance, it probably would have never worked out. That is probably true in some cases. And like I even had the mindset of, okay, if we get through long distance, we can get through anything. And that wasn't the case for me.
Yeah.
And like I had always believed that, like, after long distance was over, I was like, smooth sailing, this is great. And then after, like, everything went downhill. And so it's literally all so situational and like so individual to the person. Like, long distance with my relationship was some of the best moments of my life, which is so ironic. I feel like people don't have that experience most of the time. But just remember, like, if you are going into long distance, and maybe this is a good segue into friendships, like, it might be the best moments of your relationship. Like, that was some of mine. And I've like felt some of the happiest times that I had with that person. And that's really normal. And also just know that it's normal if you make it past long distance and it doesn't work after that, because life changes and things get hard and life is different.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially at our age, like, relationships in general are hard to make work. Everyone's going through so much of really trying to figure themselves out and figure out what they want to do in the future with their lives. Especially college, with like, figuring out your major and then figuring out your career path from there. Not knowing if you're going to continue doing school, like to get a master's, or if you're just going to stop after your bachelor's or whatever it is. And, maybe you'll want to travel and go to a different school after you're bachelors, and then you might have to leave a significant other behind because they're staying around that area or want to go somewhere else or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that idea can be scary, thinking about, moving away from that person and maybe not wanting to do that or being too afraid to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I've met some really nice guys like at my school. And I've met some people and have spent time with some people for a long duration and have felt like, okay, maybe this person and I could work together. And, personality wise, maybe it would be great, but maybe, uh, you're just in two really different places. And that's something you can't really control,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So things like that happen. And yeah, there's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different things that can affect how a relationship ends. It could be long distance, it could be just the situation, or it could be a person just not feeling it anymore, or whatever it is. Like, there's just a lot of different things that can affect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is exactly why, like, long distance and relationships is so much harder because there's so many other factors into it that
Right.
matter. Whereas, like, friendships, they don't, I don't want to say they don't require as much work because that's not true. You have to put work into friendships, but also you are, it's more of a natural thing with a friend, at least what I've felt. Although it is natural being in a relationship, you have so much to fight for and you have so many needs in place between you and that person. Whereas a friendship, like with me and Audrey, of course we have needs, but most of the needs are like, I just want to talk to you once a week at least.
Yeah, right.
And like each friendship is different. Like one of my friends from home, I call like almost every single day just for like 5 minutes. And that's it. I just need my little daily dose of serotonin from her, and then I'm good and she's good. And that's how it has always been since I came to Michigan. Whereas like Audrey and I, like, we like to talk on the phone for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, we'll sit down and like actually have a conversation and catch up for like an hour or so. And that's how it is for our friendship. So like with friendships, it's more about learning what each of that person needs. And usually those needs are just not as high as a relationship. I think when it's a friendship, you just understand each other a little bit more. You have more respect, or more, you're willing to give up a little bit more, I guess. Like, if Audrey can't call one night, no biggie. If my boyfriend can't call one night, that's going to make me sad.
Yeah.
And, like, of course it makes me sad that Audrey can't call, but I'm not going to cause a fight about it. Maybe I would cause a fight about it with my boyfriend if I haven't called him in a week.
Yeah.
Like, those are the things where it's a little bit different, which make it just a little bit easier. And I don't know, like, people just have those friends where you don't talk for a few months and then you pick up right where you left. And that's kind of exactly how long distance feels with close friends.
Yeah.
And I think making it an effort to still talk to them, like send them TikToks that remind you of them, or like little Instagram reels that remind you of them, or just like a voice memo or a text being like, hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you doing? Like, those things matter so much in a friendship. And, we both have other things going on in our life, like work and school and relationships and those kinds of things, that it's hard to balance it all. On top of it, have time for your friendship too.
Yeah. I think it's just almost this mutual understanding that
Yes, that's the exact word, mutual understanding.
That even if we're not talking all the time, we're still in each other's hearts and on each other's minds. And I almost think, especially when you've been friends with someone as long as me and Emma have been friends,
Yeah.
you like no longer need all sorts of attention from them. Mm-hmm. It's like,
yeah.
Because Emma and I have been friends for like 8 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like 8 years since 6th grade. So we have grown up together.
Mm-hmm. You've gone through very, very monumental moments in life, transitional periods, everything.
I mean, like middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Middle school and high school are some of the toughest years of your life, and we grew up during that time together. Mm-hmm. And so
we've been through everything together.
We have just
you just know each other.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I get it. Like, I get her, she gets me, and that's the bottom line. I feel like, on the other hand, if maybe you've only been friends with someone for a little while and you're trying to do like a long distance friendship type of thing, things probably don't come as naturally, and maybe picking up where you left off is harder. Mm-hmm. But again, just little things, sending them a text every once in a while, checking in, maybe calling them every once in a while. Like, I usually just try to call my friends. Like, if I think of them, I'll like give them a call.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Emma and I, we don't need to do much, I feel like. We're just pretty solid. And obviously this podcast is bringing us a lot closer too, I think. And
for sure.
Like, it's forcing us to communicate constantly about podcast stuff, which turns into other conversations and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then like me with my other friends from high school who are at different schools, and I do long distance friendship with them or whatever. Yeah. It's very similar because I've also known them I've known of them for 8 years because I've known them both since 6th grade as well. I got close to one of them around the same time as Emma, and then like we weren't as close, and then we got a lot closer in high school, and then the other one I got really close with in 8th grade, and then we've been friends since then. Or 7th grade more. So it's like around the same time.
Yeah.
So again, with them, it's like easy to just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
But again, I do try to like reach out to them, send them snaps. Like one of my friends and we just will send each other long Snapchat videos, and that's how we communicate. Yes. Even if we don't open it for a couple days, and then we open it and then respond with another long video. It's so funny. Yeah. I'm like, we should just call at this point. Yeah.
But it's nice to have that option because sometimes you can't call at the same time, especially like with time zones and stuff. It's nice to send videos, and then when you're able to watch it, they watch your video. Another thing that's kind of fun that I just started doing is I have a Snapchat story just for my hometown friends. And I like put stuff on there that's happening here at school to keep them updated with my life. And I think that's fun. Or like I'll put stuff on there that's only related to my hometown. And like the people that I met in Michigan won't get, so it's like irrelevant for them to see. Yeah. And I've liked doing that. It's fun. And also like make an effort to see each other. I like always have my friends come visit me. I need to go visit my friends, which more so it's just you. I need to come visit you.
Yeah.
And
none of my friends have come to visit me at my school, which makes me so sad.
It's only last year I didn't come and visit you because
it's fine.
I didn't want to use communal bathrooms. I was to say it, but I didn't want to. I've never had to experience that, and I don't want to. But now you have your own bathroom, and I said I'd visit you in April.
That makes me so annoyed. I feel like every single person needs to experience communal bathrooms.
No, they don't.
I think they do.
It is
a monumental moment in life that everyone needs to go through because if you don't go through it
every day at school,
but you don't shower in there. And you don't brush your teeth in there.
And I don't need to, because I'm lucky to go here.
I actually really liked the communal bathrooms because I met so many people. I met so many people on my floor.
Okay, yeah.
I made friends in those bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you didn't get to make friends in bathrooms.
I have more friends than you.
No, you don't. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Um,
understandable you didn't want to use communal bathrooms.
yeah.
But, like, that's so princessy of Emma, I feel like.
Rightfully so. I am one.
Okay.
Like, I have my own bathroom now.
Okay.
I don't think I could ever go back to sharing a bathroom
Okay.
after having my own.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious.
But
she and I had very different college experiences.
yes.
Which we need to do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Like, we need to compare and contrast everything because it's so funny how different
my
it
life
has
is
been.
boring here. We'll talk about it another time.
Yeah.
Another time. We're gonna get too much into it.
Yeah.
I think definitely like making efforts on either like going home to see friends that are going to school around you. Like I have a friend who doesn't go to a community college, but she goes to a university that's like 30 minutes away. Sophia, if you're listening, I love you.
Hi, Sophia.
And it is so fun to go and visit her. Like I just drive 30 minutes and visit her. Don't have to stay or anything. Could, but don't have to. And it's fun to like meet all of, your hometown's friends.
Yes.
Yeah. That's always really fun, especially when you get along with them really well. Like I get along with Sophia's friends so well.
You would love mine.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll come in April and I'll visit. But
if my school friends are listening, hey guys. Okay. They probably aren't.
Thanks for interrupting me.
Sorry.
But yeah, just like making that effort and opening up your space to have them come visit. Like it's easier for me to have friends come visit now because I have my own room and stuff. And I do too. And I have just like a bigger space for all of my friends and stuff. And it's really fun to take people around over here because I live so close to the water and to a city. Picture. So yeah, just making those efforts and keeping like each other up to date of when you're gonna be at home. Oh
wait.
Is this the right time?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I was taking a picture for our Instagram, guys.
My bad. Keeping each other up to date on when you're coming home. Like, do you remember when I was coming home for my fall break and you were also coming home for fall break and we had no idea until like a day before?
Yes.
And I was like, I'm coming home this weekend for my fall break.
And I was like, wait, me too.
So it's like, what? Like, we're gonna be, and like,
then we made plans, obviously. But like, I just always assume that I don't have any of my breaks lining up with my friends from high school because
you shouldn't. You never know.
I shouldn't assume. Makes an ass out of you and me.
What'd you say?
I shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of you and me.
Oh, okay.
Because like ASSUME, that's how you spell assume.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one?
My dad. Okay. And it's like a saying.
Got it. That's funny.
Sorry.
But yeah, like definitely reach out about when you're going to be coming home. Because even me, I come home quite a lot. And so whenever I'm coming home, I always hit up my friends who are living close to me at home. So I'm like, hey, I'm coming home this weekend. When can I come over and visit you? Coming home this weekend. Let's make plans. And so it's always fun to do that. And sometimes like I'll randomly come home and surprise people too. It's fun. Like I did that last semester and I came home early. I was supposed to come home, but I came early. So I surprised my grandma and my grandpa.
Oh, yeah. I love her grandparents.
And they were like, you weren't supposed to be here till after dinner. I was like, I know, I came early.
That's so adorable.
I
love them so much.
I think I'm totally going to do that over the summer.
You should.
Like, maybe I'll
tell your
text
parents.
Your mom and be like, make sure Audrey's not doing anything this day. And then I'll come and surprise you.
Oh my god, you should come and surprise me. Because you're going to live here over the summer, right?
Yeah.
Come and surprise me. I'll be waiting.
You should come and surprise me. Like, come and visit me at my pool and let's go to the lake.
Okay. Or I could just come without surprising you.
Yeah.
Because who would I talk to make sure you were available?
My mom.
It's true. But then I feel like it ended up being so obvious. I would turn off my location and then you'd know.
I never really look at your location.
Oh, okay. She doesn't care about where I am at.
Well, I get, like, if I worry about you, or, like, if we're supposed to talk soon, I look at it.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what boy's house is she at this time?
Oh. Mom and Dad, if you're listening, that's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
Yikes. Just exposed me, but, like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real.
Keeping it real.
What I was going to say is that, yeah, making an effort to visit each other is so awesome. I visited, I feel so bad. I have one friend who, it's so funny. Her school is the closest to my school, but I still haven't visited her. And I think it's because I'll come home, like I'll go home. I don't have a car at school, so I'll go home, and then from there I'll go either to Grand Valley State University, or I'll go to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, where my other friend goes. And then at that point, because my other friend goes to University of Iowa, which is like an hour from my school, but then it's like 3 hours from my house, which is about the distance that like we are. But like it just seems weird going home just to go back.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I could take a bus there, or I could try to get a friend to drive me. But then I just feel bad because I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I'm scared to ride on a bus by myself. I need to get over my fear, but I'm just scared of that. And then second of all, I don't want to like beg one of my friends who has a car to take me there if they don't want to go. Like,
for sure.
But like we're trying to make it work because they do want to go at some point, so it's fine, whatever. But I have visited 2 out of 3 of my high school friends. I have come here twice, and I've gone to Urbana-Champaign twice.
Good, lovely.
I have really evened it out very well.
I've only been to NIU.
Yeah. You should come to Augustana.
I will.
We have a good time there. We really do.
I will.
We make the most out of our time. It is just such a fun time, dude. I can't. I love my school.
Yeah, it's good.
For the most part.
It's good.
For the most part.
Trying to think of what else that like helps a long distance friendship. I think that you just have to be super aware of planning to talk to them. And that was something that kind of came naturally to me. Like when I was in high school, planning on going away to college, not to say that I like was expecting all of my friends to not be my friends anymore. I was never thinking that way, but I was always like, oh, I'm not going to talk to them as much. Like, we're probably going to lose touch.
Mm-hmm. I was so worried about that.
I wasn't necessarily worried. I just, like, I never expected myself, like, calling my hometown friends every single day and missing them as much as I did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of a person who doesn't get affected that much by distance. I just never have. And, or like, I thought I would miss my parents a lot more than I did, which I miss them. But it's like, it's a different kind of miss. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you call and you appreciate those times so much, and you appreciate the time that you get together when you go home or visit. But my friendships from high school became like even stronger when I went to college.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the same exact thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it was almost like you have that distance and then you realize who your true friends are.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, like who comes more into your life and who leaves more out of your life. And like who you want to put your energy into, because you have new friends that you have to put energy into, and obviously like you can't fill up so many people at the same time. And it was like, okay, who really matters to really put time into? You know, I have like 3 to 4 people that I really put a lot of time into every single week to still talk to, and I've done that all throughout college so far. Yeah. And I'm so thankful that I still have all of my high school friends, like all of the people that I was super close with. because I thought that they just were not going to be as prevalent in my life as they actually are now. And I still consider them some of my best friends. Like hometown best friends to me are just like superior.
No, literally.
Like, I love my friends here at Grand Valley. It's
Mhm.
a different kind of friendship. Like
Yes, it feels
it
different.
is. It does.
It feels a little different. I mean, I don't know. I like my whole experience with it. Like, I felt like when I went to college, I reached this level of maturity that I never thought I was going to reach.
Mhm.
Obviously, like living on your own without your parents really forces you to mature
Yeah.
and grow up. And like, I would say I was pretty mature in high school, but I, of course, had work to do. And I feel like it was a time when I really reflected on my relationships in my life, just all of them.
Mhm.
Because at that point, I had lost one of my close friends because things just like I realized she wasn't that great of a friend, low key, at the beginning of my freshman year. And then I lost my boyfriend as well, because I also realized, okay, why am I with this guy? You know, and then I was like, okay, I need to like be more careful who I'm letting into my life because I'm getting hurt, you know? And so
Yeah.
I really looked at it and realized that, you know, Emma and then Hannah, who goes to University of Illinois, and Reese, who goes to University of Iowa, have been like the three girls from my high school.
Mhm.
Reese and I didn't even go to high school together, I'll say that. We went to middle school together, but they're like the three girls from my hometown that have always just been there, always have been there for me.
Mhm.
And I have connected with the most, and I've gone through things the most with, and like
Yeah.
they understand me the most. And the list goes on
Mhm.
and on. And like me, I respect, cherish, and love them the most out of like anyone else
Yeah.
that I met throughout high school, whatever. And like it's crazy because
Mhm.
like Reese and I, we reconnected after our freshman years of
Mhm.
college.
Mhm.
We started spending time together like that summer right after our freshman year.
Yeah.
And like there was never anything that happened between us. It was like we just went to different high schools and we tried to stay in touch, but it was hard. We were both really busy with things in high school. And so we spent time together every once in a while, but it wasn't like as much time as I was spending with Emma or with Hannah.
Yeah.
And so then we reconnected over the summer, and then like we've been so close ever since. And like
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Yeah.
And like Emma and my friendship, I feel like grew stronger
Mhm.
after those two people who were really just bringing me down were out of my life.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, that's like a
For
whole
sure.
thing.
For sure.
But again, Emma and I have been friends for forever. And we've had like ups and downs in our friendship. But
Super normal.
I feel like the distance helped us. Like I feel like
Yeah, it
it
does.
gave me specifically this new perspective of
Mhm.
I need to protect myself
Yeah.
from people that could easily hurt me,
Mhm.
and I need to think about who in my life, you know, is going to protect me from that. If that makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it does.
Who do I trust enough to be close with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I really had to work on that, but I got there. And then me and
Yes.
Hannah too, super close.
Mhm.
Um, Super close. I could say so many great things about her. I just love her so much.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't want to ramble. But anyway,
Yeah.
I already
Yeah.
am rambling.
Yeah. I don't know, something about just hometown friendships and like the ones that stay and they see you go through so many different things and they just understand you the best, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when people go to college, sometimes people change. And when you both remain somewhat of who you were in the past, I feel like that helps things. And people who can accept you changing as well, like positive changes, obviously.
Yes. And like celebrating each other.
Mhm.
Like, even if we're far away, like,
Yeah.
If she tells me, oh, I got a great grade on this, or
Mhm.
like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
or
she'll
new
like
jobs,
easily
new
send me a text. I'm like,
opportunities.
woohoo, whatever.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
It's always fun to have those people
Yes, it is. It
to
is.
celebrate things with. Like whenever I
Yes.
like make it into a theater production or
Mhm.
something, like I'll text
Yeah.
Emma and then
Yeah. No,
my
for sure.
parents and like some of my other
Those
friends.
people. Yeah. Those are the people you have to keep in your life. And if you're in a stage where you're moving away or going to school or like getting a new job, having to leave somewhere, and you're going to be away from your people, just make such an effort to still be in their life and still connect with them at least once a week, because they really matter. And I feel like those people in your life who stayed for so long are meant to be super important people in your life.
Yeah.
And as long as you feel that and you feel a mutual feeling with it, but just try and keep them close. I think they're more important than we realize.
Yeah.
And I think we can kind of get blinded by the new experiences, the new people that we're meeting. And that's all very
Absolutely.
normal in the very beginning. But like, nothing is better than coming home to your friends.
Yeah.
It
And
really
like
isn't.
another thing is that it's never too late to try reconnecting with somebody.
That's true.
Like life is too short to let those really positive people in your life go. Like
Mhm.
even if, you know, for whatever reason maybe you've drifted apart a little bit, like
Yeah,
it's never too late to reach out to them
for sure.
and try to talk with them again. Like if you're listening to this and you're thinking about a specific person that, oh, this person, you know, had a really
Mhm.
positive influence on my life and we're not as close anymore, like
Yeah.
send them a text right now. Pull out your phone, send them a text right now.
Send them a text right now.
Try to get
Just-
together, or, you know, if you are like long distance friends, try to, you know, set up a time to call them or whatever it is, because it's crazy how quickly you can reconnect with somebody,
Especially friends.
especially friends, because, you know, I'm sure whatever it is that happened that, you know, caused some sort of separation between the two of you,
Yeah,
I'm sure that they understand. Like,
for sure.
if you guys were really that close, like if you guys really do have that great positive connection, like they will understand that shit happens and it's understandable if, you know, you just got so busy and it was really hard for you to maintain friendships. Like I have been there before.
Yeah.
That I've tried to put, you know, my other commitments ahead of my friends, which is not good. But of course, I feel like we always say this, like a healthy balance of everything is obviously what we want to reach for.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I think both Emma and I are getting there for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't have to focus solely on my homework and block everything out in my life. Like I can do a little bit of homework here and then respond to Emma's text or do some homework
Yeah.
there and then go get coffee with a friend from school or whatever it is.
For sure. Yeah, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
And all about just being intentional with the people that you care about and love and the people who also give you that back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good episode.
Yeah. We
Good
went on for a
episode.
while.
We did. We did. This is great.
I really enjoyed that.
Me too. So happy that we're doing this. So happy we're together.
Me too.
Super
Me too.
fun.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at @growmepodcast_. Leave a review in Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcast. Actually, majority of you guys listen on Apple Podcasts, so love to see it. And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because you can leave like typed reviews. So that would be super fun if you could do that. Follow us on all of our socials. Follow us on TikTok at Growmie's Podcast. With a 2? No. Just at Growmie's Podcast.
This podcast. We're making a TikTok today.
Yes, we post exclusive content you're going to want to see. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
the girls are back together again, and next time you see us, we'll be apart.
Apart.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It
watching.
does kind of suck. But it's okay.
It does.
Thank you so much for listening.
Have a great rest of your day.
We love
/week.
you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.